Songjia will actually go through, some of the common things that he does or he uses in his development work. And as we know, Songjia is the sole developer of XR author, and also the researcher who is using it to produce new knowledge in terms of using XR for educational learning experiences. Okay, so Songjia, you can just continue. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so let's just from the beginning. If you have your IDE ready, so you can follow step. So maybe you can set up your own project just by following ours. Okay, so you are showing the editor, right? Okay, yeah. So I'm using VS Code, so it's quite nice editor. Okay, okay. So but you can use whatever you like. Doesn't really matter. So let's create the project folder. You can follow the steps. So okay, we need to make one. So make dir. We create a hello XR project. Then go to the it's okay. Then we just open. Sorry, I think I can use just code. Open this one. Oh, it's create another one. Oh, maybe just open in the current one. XR, hello XR. Can you still see on? Okay. Okay. See, so where am I? Okay, hello XR. Yeah. So first of all, we will use npm and Node.js. So
Sorry, what is npm and Node.js? In case people are not aware of what they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So I will act as not act, but I'm really a student here. So I'm learning, Songjia's environment. So let's look at.
Okay. Can I move this? We can try. Yeah. So that's the documentation for npm. Okay. So that's the instruction for downloading and install Node.js and npm. So Node.js it just allows you to use JavaScript outside the web browser environment, and npm is the package manager for Node.js. So it's basically help you to install packages and manage your JS projects.
So why do we need Node.js in the first place?
Yeah, that's the common way to organize the JS project. Basically, you need like BabylonJS or other JS library. Okay, sorry. So you need a way to install, right? Or get the library and put that library or packages into your project. So npm is the package manager for you to search and install or we can say download the package into your project. And actually it's writing JS. So to run JS on your machine without using web browser, you need a Node.js. So Node.js basically is a kind of runtime for you to execute JS code without using your web browser.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, Node.js is like if you are doing some form of maybe Java, and you need a Java virtual machine to run your Java code on different devices, right? Or even the Android's virtual
Yeah,
machine.
kind of. It's using
Yeah.
a JS virtual machine, VM, but JS
So
VM.
yeah, in the same way, it is like the Node.js is this virtual machine that allows you to run JS on your
on
desktop, right? Yeah.
on computer.
So it's like making JavaScript supposedly as a originally web based language. It can now be also used to build apps in a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a dependency that we all have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because JavaScript is the language all web browser can understand, and it was created just for the web browser to generate the web view for you. So originally, it cannot you cannot execute the JS code without the web browser. Yeah. So yeah. So this page is telling you how to install Node.js and npm. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So there's a different way for different platforms. So I just don't want to waste too much time here. You can just follow the step there. Okay. All right. So
Okay, thanks.
no worries. Okay. Next thing. Okay. Then as long as we have npm installed, for example, we have npm installed here. I think check you are using NVN. I think NVN is the one way to install Node and npm on the machine. It's called a Node version manager or something. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I use a Node version manager
Yes.
because sometimes a specific version of Node needs to be installed as the dependency for specific projects. So I can switch between different versions of Node easily. That's why I use this NVM. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So next thing, make sure you are in the project directory. So we will use npm to initialize the project. Okay, so we use npm init and -- yes. Okay. Okay. So npm init will create a package.json file for you, and the -- yes, the yes flag means you answer yes to all the questions from the command line. Otherwise, you need to answer yes or no to decide what value put into this package.json. Yeah. So
Is there a shorter way to do that?
yeah,
No.
yeah, that's the short way actually. So you give the yes flag, so you don't need to answer the question. It will use the default value for you to create the package.json.
I was just thinking about a shorter
Even shorter
sentence to type.
Okay.
Dash y, right? Yeah. Those are not really important. I think dash
You
y.
can check out the box here if you choose np and init. Yeah, I just always far away from me. Yeah. Be sure about the version I'm using. I think the latest one is V9. Yeah, so we have yes flag.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can always
Anyway,
check.
it's not the most important knowledge, but just say. Okay, please continue. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you have anything you're not sure about, just check the documentation. Okay. So let's look at the package.json file. Can we just get back to okay. All right. Okay. All right. So that's the package.json file. So JSON file means JavaScript object notation. So it's basically it's a file in form of JavaScript object. So this is how JavaScript
Sorry,
object looks like.
comments saying and make the font bigger.
Oh yeah, sure. Is it better? Or even is this okay?
I feel it's okay. Is it okay, Jia Zheng? And the rest? Yes, thanks. The other question was, can we use npm via Visual Studio Code Extension Market? What does that mean?
I'm not sure. Maybe you can find some extension from the Visual Studio market. So Visual Studio Code also support extensions. I'm not sure if there's the npm package.
Yeah, I'm also
I'm not sure.
not sure. And what would it do? Yeah, actually there is.
But I think it's
Maybe just mixed it, make you do less terminal code typing.
yeah, maybe, but it's deprecated.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, you can use anyone. You can use the extension. Doesn't really matter as long as it can do the work. For me, I prefer the command line.
Yeah,
To be
same here.
honest.
I prefer the command line as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, you can do whatever you like. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the package.json. .json file basically is describe what the project is. So name, version, description. I can change anything of that. Later on, we will add, modify that this file to manage the project. Okay. So I think next thing. Okay. So now we'll use BabylonJS, right? So do we need to show BabylonJS?
Sure.
Okay. BabylonJS. Yeah, documentation. Okay. So next thing I will show how to use npm to install BabylonJS for your project. Okay, let's get back to here. All right. So have you introduced the BabylonJS in the video? I mean, do we?
Oh, you're asking whether I've introduced BabylonJS. Actually, if you look at, I take over the mouse for a while. Yeah, we are using the same PC. Yes. If I look at Slack, right? The introduction of development tools, it was meant for this week, but I pushed it to next due to the fact that I think this is probably more timely to go through a primer of how you will set up the development uh, environment. But the overview of the development tools is in the next week's video, which is already there. I mean, if you can just have a look at it, which also has a introduction of Babylon JS. Yep. So
Yeah, so basically BabylonJS is a web graphic engine. So just handle graphics for you. So you don't really need to write your maybe like code directly talk to the GPU. So just BabylonJS to do the work for you to make the development much easier and then just use WebGL directly. Later on I will show more detail about this.
yeah.
Uh,
There was a using Babylon or is 3GS okay? Actually, we do not stipulate that you have to use Babylon.js. It's just that we are trying to demonstrate using the library that seems to be most active and supported nowadays. That is fairly high level for to accommodate more people to do this development. When we are describing whether it's through the videos or in this class. But I understand that, especially I don't want to say RTIs versus IMGD, but I just want but it's the fact that like RTIs you have a couple more modules and learning like activities to build something that's closer to the metal, right? Vulkan and OpenGL. So maybe you prefer to use 3JS. Yes, Clementine, if you are familiar with OpenGL, definitely go for just using 3JS. I think that it's actually the most powerful. Do you agree? I don't.
Yeah, I think 3JS is a bit lower level than BabylonJS, I feel like. So even you can create your app without using any library. It's also possible. You can just write GL SL. I mean the shading language.
GLSL.
Yeah, for the WebGL. So it's possible. You can just create your camera, your thing, your whatever, just using the shading language. It's possible.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Let's go back to VS Code. Okay.
Okay. So in case you're not really familiar with BabylonJS, you can go to the documentation there. Okay. Yeah, we don't have much time. I think 2 hours, already half an hour.
It's okay.
How to hide this one? I think
Just click that.
no, it's not. I don't
Let
know.
me pull it back to him. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, some interface issue again.
Okay. So we use npm install Okay, then we have the flag save here. Then we install BabylonJS. That's the name for the package. Okay. Where's the is it wrong? What's the result for that?
Yeah. Interestingly, the output
Engine.
went missing.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that. Then okay. BabylonJS. Okay.
Okay, something happened just now.
I see. So basically that's command. Okay, do two things. First, download the BabylonJS, the package, I mean the file, into the folder here. It's called the node modules. So basically all the package to download by npm will put here. So we see in the module we have BabylonJS, the directory. So all the APIs you can use are from this folder. Okay. Next thing is it.
Sorry,
Yep.
so again, npm install, right?
Yeah.
What exactly does it do? What it adds?
Yeah, two things. One is download the the uh the package, I mean all the JS files into this directory. Okay, it's called BabylonJS, and also put that directory in the node modules. Okay, directory. So all the package from npm will put here. So basically, you can see that just JS files.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, the second thing is it will, because I have the save flag there, then it will modify the package.json file. Okay, here you can see we add dependencies. Okay, so BabylonJS will be one dependency for our project because we want to use BabylonJS to create the XR apps. So that's the second thing that command does. Sorry.
Also, maybe a quick note about what is the role of package.json, and is there a difference between the locked one and the unlocked one?
Yeah, the package lock here is basically have more details about what version you will use for this project, because JS packages will normally have many versions because it's kind of involved pretty fast, and you may have some issue use different version. So maybe some breaking change between versions. So it's better to specify what version you will use for your project.
Okay, one more question before we move on is, do we actually need to manually edit this file, or can we just leave it to?
Normally you don't really edit the log file. This will be handled by npm. So normally I don't touch this one. So but for package.json, normally we will do something. So the dependency we will use npm. Normally we don't really need to change quite a lot. The thing we will use is here. It's called scripts. So the scripts here, you just type command you will use. So to let npm what kind of job we want to do with project. For example, we can add by default it has a test here, test script here. So basically you can use npm run test. Okay, basically it's will run the command you specify in the here, but we don't really have any app to do test, so it's just echo the message here. But later on I will show how to set up the scripts for you to build app, run and serve the app, and or just the thing you need.
Yeah,
Yes.
sounds really cool. Okay, yeah, please continue.
Yeah, it's basically just for you to automate
I
the
see. Yes,
project.
a lot of automation that you can do with
Yeah.
the package.json.
Yes. Okay. So so that's the main dependency we will have. Do I need to talk about like JS or TS? TypeScript.
Maybe if you just start to program
One program, then talk about the the language. Okay, so you can guess the BabylonJS is based on JavaScript, but the language we will use is called Typescript. So it's basically a superset of JavaScript. I think it's created by Microsoft. So for TypeScript, short form is TS. So basically, it's add a type system to the JS. The JavaScript, like it's a weakly typed language. So you don't need to specify the type when you declare a variable. We will talk this more later when we start to code. Okay. Okay. So next thing we will do after we install the BabylonJS, I check the.
Yep. So while you are searching for stuff, the question here, just grab the mouse. Actually, not a question. I just saw that somebody typed the sudo apt install npm. Yes, you sort of need to install npm. Just now, Zhongzia did show that it's just a website. For different OS, there's different ways to install. And yeah, certainly, yeah, Linux. If you're on Linux, you will use sudo. I mean, you use apt package manager and other systems things. Yeah, Mac OS, I use Homebrew and so on. Then yeah, weak types. Actually, the type, and you have a set base, right, Clarence? So, in fact, TypeScript is meant to resolve that by introducing stronger types. And it's not like absolutely very similar to C++, but at least it's some strong type.
If you like types, you will like TypeScript.
Yeah, a lot of you I know come from C++ background, so maybe TypeScript is the way to go rather than the super loose JavaScript.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So next dependency we will add is development dependency. So let's install this first. Then I talk more about this. Okay. Let's show where's my map. Okay. Okay. Let's back to the terminal. All right. Okay. Let's install another one. This time I will use save -dev this flag, which means it will save the dependency as a development dependency, which means that dependency is only used for development. So for the app, I mean the production code, it will not include that dependency, with your app. So yeah, so it's only for development. Basically, it's the tool for you to do some automation thing. Yeah. So the one we will use is called a Webpack. Okay. Let me just so Webpack, that's the package, and also we'll install the Webpack CLI, the command line interface, and also we will use Webpack. One thing is the tool from Webpack. It's called Webpack Dev Server. Okay, so this tool will help you set up local HTTP server. Okay, to serve the web app we will develop. So you don't need to write code to set up HTTP server. Yeah, that tool will do work for you. And
so one question is, just now you installed BabylonJS, but did you use like save dev?
Yeah, for BabylonJS I use save flag. Save flag means save BabylonJS as the dependency for production. So which means the final production version of your code, for your app will include BabylonJS code. But for this one, it's safe. That means it's only used for development. So basically, it's development tools. So it will not include code from these packages in your app.
Yeah. Okay. So to summarize, Webpack's command line interface and the dev server is all just meant for during development, because these are like things that help you serve your app onto the browser and so on.
Yeah. So Webpack is very popular. I feel quite a lot programmer use Webpack to manage their project. Okay, so the last one is the a plugin for Webpack. It's called HTML Webpack plugin. Yeah, so this one will help you create the HTML and to serve the JS app. So if you're not familiar with web programming, basically the HTML file will serve the assets to create the web view in the browser. So basically the browser will read the HTML and then use the link in the HTML like to include like assets like image, video, or scripts, then to run the web view in the browser. Yeah. So basically, you need HTML to serve the JS scripts, and that plugin will help you and create HTML, so it makes things easier. Yeah, let's get this thing. Okay. So npm installing, basically just downloading all the JS files. Where's the got arrow?
And errors are very common.
Okay, I'm in
using npm.
the respond while trying to get the index and records. Did I type the wrong name? Webpack CLI. Did I?
Yeah, looks like
Server HTML again.
related to npm, not being able to find a file.
It's something wrong with the registry npm. Okay, let's
Maybe
just
you can
install one by one.
install different ones first.
Okay, yeah, that's the basic one. Okay, let's see. Okay.
So yes, as you know, the demo gods are always looking over us.
Okay, see,
With
okay.
anything live, things will fail.
Okay, let's try server.
Okay, while Song Jia goes through each one by one, the question, will there be a written guide? Answer is no. So if you want to, you can rewatch the video 2 times or 3 times. There's no 3 times, but yes, you can do that. Or you can convert the whole thing into a script.
Or we can,
Yeah.
I can have a list of the commands we will use, maybe just put somewhere in the Slack.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If you have the time, certainly,
Yeah.
I think students would appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the video is still, the best way to learn this by
Okay.
looking at exactly how it's done.
Okay.
Okay, so what broke?
I think the last one. No.
Nothing broke. Okay.
Okay.
So I think the internet broke. So
I see.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably when it was trying to look for that somewhere along the pipe, something
I see.
did not go through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you can see. Yeah, we have more, folders, directory in the module here, which means we install quite a lot of things. Okay. And also you see in the package.json file here. So we have dev dependencies. Okay, we can see 4 more dependency in this entry here. So the plugin, Webpack CLI, and the Webpack dev server. Okay. Let's see.
Looks good.
Okay. Okay. Shall we show the web page for Webpack? So in case people want to okay. Web okay, again, let's see. All right, so that's the Webpack. Okay, so Webpack actually, it's a bundler for JS project. So kind of, it pack everything together. Think about like you have multiple JS files, image files, and other assets. They just bundle them together then also do some optimization, then we'll produce the bundled version of your code. So like one optimization is kind of reduce the size of the files. Yeah, and also it will help you and automate some development process. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so after this, let's see anything else that we need. Okay, so another thing we need is we need to install TypeScript, because JavaScript is by default it's a language for the web, so web browser can understand it without any problem. So what I said before is TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript, which means we need to download some extra file so for us to use the language. Okay, where's my mouse? Okay,
So this may be a stupid question, but do we need to install JavaScript?
no,
Is
we
this
don't
something
need.
to be
Yeah, so whatever we write in JavaScript, all the browser can understand. The problem is JavaScript. The problem is web browser cannot understand TypeScript. So the thing here, what? Let me just install that first. Okay.
Sure.
So install. Again, this is also a development a dependency. Okay. TypeScript. And also TS loader, I think. And to
Yep. Again, while you're typing, I'm just answering a question here. Is it okay by Solomon to follow setup guide by Babylon? Yeah, of course. I mean, I didn't click to do it, but I'm pretty sure it should be fine.
Yeah, you can try the Babylon guide for set up the project. Yeah. Yeah, if it works for you.
Okay. One more question popped up. What shell are you using? This is ZSH.
ZSH, yeah.
Yeah, with a lot of different modifications. Yeah.
It's not bash shell.
Yeah.
All right. So what I have installed here is the package of maybe too many things here. Let me just see the. Okay, we can see install two dependency here. The TypeScript basically is the source code for that language. Basically, the code for you to use TypeScript. And TS loader is for actually this is the loader. I mean for the Webpack. Basically, it tell Webpack how to load the TypeScript. Okay, because basically because the Webpack will help you to bundle all the things. So it needs to know how to handle the assets. Like by default, Webpack know how to handle the JS, but it had no knowledge about TS. So the TS load is just telling Webpack how to handle the TS files. And the TypeScript also, the package from TypeScript, including APIs, including the scripts for you to use TypeScript, because a superset is add something to the original JS, and also it has I think it has a compiler for converting TS to JS. So finally, all the code you read in TS will be translated into JS. So the final product of your app will be written in JS, so the web browser can understand. Yeah. And what I'm saying, the compiler here, it's not really a compiler like C++. It's not a compiler to convert high-level language to low-level language. It's more accurately, it's a transpiler. It's translating the source code from one high-level language to another high-level language. In our case, it's translating from TS to JS. So yeah, it's a bit different. And also JS and TS are interpret language, or we can say a scripting language. So it's not really be compiled into binary code. Actually, the code we are writing in the script will executed by interpreter, one line by line. So it's a bit different.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we got TS installed. We got Webpack. The let's see next thing. Okay. Okay. Let's create the configuration file for Webpack. And
You mean
also
we still cannot start to code yet?
yes, it's
We're
quite
all really eager. Yeah.
yeah, it's quite a lot set up here.
Yeah.
But as long as everything's set up, so many things will do automatically for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
so it requires a bit configuration here.
Yes, yes. I think we all understand that, you know, a lot of it is beyond just doing the code. Yeah.
Yeah.
Many things surround coding to make, you know, our development process much better to facilitate all aspects of the software engineering, including testing and stuff.
Yeah. We're going through the steps. Just want to know, that's the common practice, and not common practice. The typical setup we use for web programming. So yeah, so if we want to make the process easier, we can just give you a Docker container, then with everything set up, you just can just start to code. But I think it's beneficial for you to know how to set up a project for web programming.
Yeah. Coding is normally the easiest part, which is why ChatGPT does it so well. Yeah. The other stuff are like most difficult.
Okay, so now we will create a configuration file for Webpack and also Typescript. So I create the Webpack. It's called Webpack dot config.js and also tsconfig config.json. Okay, these are two files we will use for configuration. Okay.
For those of us who are not Linux people, what is Touch?
Touch just created the empty file for you. Yeah, that's the command line for Linux. So
Cool.
yes.
Thanks. Yep.
Okay, and let me see anything else. All right, let's just create all the files we need. So next thing we can create. Where am I? Yeah, that's the project file. And next thing we can create the source directory to hold all the source code. Okay, we create that one, and also we create the files we need for the app. So first we create the index.html. That will be the template file for the HTML plugin to create the HTML file for your app. And also we need to add index.ts. That's the entry point for your app. So the execution of your app will start from this particular point.
Okay, question. Do the names of the files matter?
Yes and no. So yes, because I will use this name in the configuration files. No, yes, you can use any name, but you need to put that name in the configuration files. That's the common name we will use, like index.html and index.ts. But you can use other name like app.ts, and it's okay. But you need to use this name in your configuration files, and so it is and no.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, so we have configuration files here, and we also have source code here, but now it's empty. So we will write code in these two files. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so first we can set up a Webpack configuration. Let's see. So actually, there's a template for the Webpack. I think configuration on BabylonJS documentation.
So you want to show them. Okay.
Okay. So we can go to the
Yep.
Because one thing is NGS. So this will be
Suppose you
yes. The file or the track can do something and this at reach track.
is that way we can have some leads.
Waiting on document of general application yeah.
So when yesterday,
Yeah. So I would okay. Yes, well, that's is more to non-pen the create file that thing for the program. So I use .gen in stars and to in the salary.
the video.
For that big for certain for all for type or use to is modify one and even you or one of the file. Can is it in the way you that and from it's up to the you here to app to order and give this for your you would be next or one out here can file the file and the first what you case the one will be that this yeah and the placing use load this line is for here picture which here okay and yeah okay I will add on to be in and would be if you okay. Okay, then the thing we can add here is there's that thing just called dev tool here. So basically, we can use the thing here I want to add is inline source code. Sorry, inline source map. The source map is used because remember we write our code in Typescript, but in browser actually it's use JS the JS code after translation. So the source map here is for you to map between these two files. So when you see error message saying what's wrong at what position, the source map here will link back to the original TS script. So it's basically for a developer to understand the error message better. Just basically it's for development purpose. Okay, so why it's called dev tool here. Okay.
So can I say that it's not absolutely necessary, but it's good to have?
Yes, it's not necessary to run app. If you just want to run app, you can run without a source map. And for production, you may want to exclude the source map to reduce the size of the file, and also to increase the performance, because that's will add extra file to your source code.
I see.
Yeah, but it's better to have if you are developing. Okay. Okay. The next thing is we want to configure the dev server here. Okay, so it's very simple setup. Just telling Webpack how to run dev server. So first I would put things here static to false, because we will not serve static assets. So because the assets will be bundled by the Webpack. So for BabylonJS app here, we don't really use any additional static assets. And that's one thing. Another thing, you need to specify the ports. Maybe I use 3000 better. Okay. Okay. So the port will specify here. It will, which means when you access the web server, you will use this port to reach the server. Yeah, basically you will send a HTTP request through this port.
So it can be any number we like, right? As long as it doesn't clash with existing.
Yeah. So the ports, some ports are already used by the system or by the browser, like 80 or 8080. These two ports are for HTTP requests for the browser. So you better don't use them. And also some other ports like I forgot, like the the secure layer is using 433 or something. Yeah, but just use something. If something wrong with the port, just change another number. Okay.
Just in case you're wondering, I know you guys are also taking mobile and cloud computing. We did not purposely align our modules such that it matches, cloud web development. Yep. But so happened.
Okay. So next thing we will set up for the plugin. So we will use one plugin. Is the HTTP Webpack plugin. So here so another thing is we need to import the plugin first. Okay. So const we need to HTML Webpack plugin. Okay, equal to we need to use require that module. Okay, let's see. It's HTML. The second one. Okay. The require will look for the packages in the Node modules. If there, it will just import the module for you. So with three modules here, so originally JS was very little, so it's just designed to do some simple tasks. So the scripts normally are not very long, but later on we write a big program using JavaScript. Then later on they introduce the module, the concept of module. Basically, it's splitting JavaScript script into multiple files. Okay, then each file will be a module. Then yeah, that's why we're using module name module here. So when we need that module, we import that module and use some a function or class from that module instead of you just put everything in a giant script. Okay, so after we import the plugin, okay, then we can set up. Okay, so we need to create a new plugin and also pass the argument here. Okay, that's one option here is we need to specify the template. Okay, remember we create index.html, so we will use this as a template for the plugin to produce the HTML for your app. Okay, later on we can see how it works. Again, we use the path resolve. Okay, then let's put the name. And also we want to use the source directory and the index HTML in the source directory. Okay. All right, that's the thing for Webpack configuration. And one more thing is for TS. So it's the configuration for the language itself. And again, actually, there's a template we can use here. So that's the TS. Again, I will. Did I open something just close? Again, I want to save the time, so I just copy the file. Sorry, code here and do some modification. Okay, mouse. All right. Yes, you see that's the compiler option for for compiler to convert TS to JS. So I will not go through all the options here, so because I take too much time. But basically, that's the option for compiler. the thing I need to change here is the alt directory, because a bit confusing because we want to use source here. But you can have your own configuration, but I feel like it makes more sense because remember the TS is not I mean the compiler is not produce the final you know the the final file for the app. The Webpack will do the thing. So basically the output here, the alt directory here, we put the source here because it's translating the TS2JS. And actually it's also source code. Remember, it's transpiler. It translates the source code from one language to another high-level language. So the product from the TS compiler is still source code, but the source code in JS. So, but that's why we just still use the source directory as the output directory for the TS compiler. Yeah, it's a bit confusing, but yeah, it's a
Transpilation and we would transpile.
transpile. Yeah, transpile, the transpiler. Then there's another name. Yeah, or sometimes it's called the source-to-source compiler. So it's a bit different from traditional and compiler like C++ and compiler.
Somebody asking which last line. Brian, last line of which book? The config, is it? Webpack.
Yeah, that's the which one I think. So we have done the Webpack configuration.
I think they are missing the last line.
Okay. Yeah, I just leave things here.
So the template one is screenshot so that we can screenshot and use a photo text. The screen is not showing on, so it's the last line. So while they are copying, I'm just wondering, you typed a lot. So where did you get all the different configuration parameters? How did you figure out?
Okay. Yeah. One thing I can show here. I basically just check out the documentation from Webpack, and I can show the
Yes.
yeah.
It's okay. I think in the interest of time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can check out the official site for the Webpack. It has very good documentation.
Okay.
So basically, I just use documentation from package.json and Webpack to figure out, and also something from Typescript.
There's no place we can instantly copy this.
No.
That's why you're happy.
Yeah, that's my own setup. So yeah, it might have other setup from other people, but that's the setup I use. So just I create that setup. Yeah.
Source of information here.
Okay, is okay for them to.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now we have a TS configuration, right? So you can copy the template from the documentation and just modify a little bit for our project. So yeah, the thing is I changed the alt directory to source directory here. And also file here is for you to specify what files to be translated by the compiler. So the thing here, the entry point here in source directory here. So we just need to modify a little bit. Okay, so I think that's it. Let me see anything else we need to do.
And scroll to the first few lines. Students want to see.
Which one?
Yeah, this I guess.
Yeah, but this is from the template. So
yeah, this is from the template.
Yeah, I only changed 2 lines. Yeah. Yeah.
And you only changed 2 lines. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I just changed 2 lines. One is change the alt directory, and another is change the entry point for the app. So these two you need to change. It's fairly easy to do that. Yeah. Okay. So basically, it's just configuration for the compiler basically, and Webpack will use the compiler. Remember we have TS loader here. It will use TS load to load the TS files and use a compiler to converting TS to JS. And finally, it will pack everything together into a bundled version of your source code. That's the process. Okay, let me check anything we need to do. I think it's one final.
So I just realized that my mic was off just now. So yeah, Dongjia's reply was because I was asking him where did he get all the information that he used to type in so many lines of config. So basically, it was all his own personal configuration from different places of documentation, including Webpack documentation, as well as BabylonJS.
Oh, okay. One more thing. Sorry about so many setups. So remember, yeah, that's the configuration. Then we need to code the HTML template and also write some initial code for the entry point. So after that, we can try to run the project finally.
We are all waiting for writing code.
Okay. So again, we have also sample code. Okay, from the documentation, which is really good. Okay, to save time, I just copy this. We will use this as the HTML template. How do
Why does this snippet doesn't have the single button to copy code?
Yeah, normally
Yeah,
they will have something like this. But let's get back to here. Okay, you can follow this for us, then just copy that into your editor. Okay. Yeah, that's the HTML. So I will not explain too many details.
one question I
Yeah.
have, since we mentioned that in our API required render canvas, that ID, does it matter?
Yeah, it does matter. So yeah, yes and no. Basically, you can name the canvas with any name, but just need to pass the name to the function call. So the app will know which canvas to use.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, maybe a brief explain here. So the style here is defined. Uh, the HTML and basically it's for BabylonJS we will use just a canvas element, and these um, style normally is CSS code. It define how big it is, how where the position should be in the web view, yeah, things like that. But we don't really need to do anything here. Just use the default will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, okay, I will do two things here. Because we are using Webpack, I mean the HTML plugin, so it will help you include the script in the HTML file. So we will not manually include this script in the HTML file. So I will delete that.
Okay.
Yeah, the one thing. Another thing is you need to know about this is canvas element. So the canvas element for HTML is the place to show the graphics. So all the graphics like 3D graph, 2D graphics will be done inside this canvas element. And also the ID, just the name for this element, which we will get the canvas in your code using this name, this ID. And the canvas will be the target for the rendering, result. So everything rendered from the the BabylonJS or whatever framework you will use, they will use Canvas to show the result. Yeah, so we do need this one. Okay, and another thing is I want to put a title here. It's not necessary, but it's nice to have. Maybe we just hello XR. Yeah, so that's the template I want to use.
Very appropriate name.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else? Yeah. So that's the entry point. So we can just type first. We want to test if the setup is working. So I will just use console.log to print out a message.
Yeah, always a good first piece of code to write in any
Yeah.
file.
Yeah. Maybe just hello XR. Then we'll show how it works in the browser. And we see the message means everything is working fine. Okay. All right. Anything else? We got this one, got that one. Oh, sorry. Final step. Okay.
Too many final steps.
Yeah, so many things. And I think that's the true final one. Remember I mentioned before we can write some script to automate something, right? So we can add one more thing here. Okay. One thing we can add is we can say build. Okay. Build will basically let Webpack to bundle everything, then create the bundler for you. Okay, then it's ready to distribute. Okay, so basically for if it's a C++ project, I think build will be a binary, form of the app. So in our project it will be in a form of bundled and JS. Okay, so that's the thing we need to have.
So a useless trivia. Songjia and I, or Songjia worked on a pretty extensive C++ or several C++ projects before as well. Just FYI, yes. And I know Songjia for probably 10, close to 10
Close to
years.
10 years, okay.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, useless trivia.
Yeah, so that's the build script. So next thing I will add is what I call the serve script. So you will use this script to start the HTML server. Okay. So the command you will use backpack serve. Okay. And also you can add one more. Okay. And start. I will say use Webpack serve with the start. Oh, sorry. I think that's with open. So open flag is just do one more thing. After you set up the HTTP server, it will open your default browser and start and also open the web page for you. Okay. Okay. Then we can try. And okay. So because we have already we have from open, so I just use npm run the script. So I want to try serve. Okay.
Yay, errors.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Check. Nice.
Yeah, so look,
Yes.
we
Let's just see create of or just usually directing all the ones not with any forward stuff.
Colon before the
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So thanks, yeah.
My typo.
Yeah, and that's the fun of live coding. I always like.
Yeah.
Because,
Okay.
yeah, we can see how easy it is to run into errors for however little code that we write.
Okay, I think it's working now. Let's see the output here. So after you run Webpack serve, basically we use npm to invoke that command. So we use npm run serve.
What does this actually do in the background?
It just set up the HTTP server for you. So and also, okay, and yeah, it's running. The project's running, and also it has access it from localhost 3000 port. So this one thing is set up the HTTP server for you, and it also will watch any change of your source code, which means as long as you change the source code, it will recompile the code into JavaScript and refresh the page inside your browser.
Yeah.
So it's all automated. So you just type, change things, and see the result in the browser.
Yeah, it's called live refresh or hot reload in many other.
Yeah. So it's kind of make development much easier. Okay, so everything we got right. Okay, so we can try this in the browser. Let's just go to. It can change to. Okay, so let's see. Before that, we can open the console. Okay. Alt.
Command Alt I, right?
Yeah, Command Alt, right? On Mac, is it?
Yeah, it's very small text, but I guess we are not trying to read that too much here.
Yeah, but you can find that in the menu here. It's called the Developer Tools. On Mac, you can just use Command Alt I. On Windows, I think it's Control Shift I or something.
Yeah, one of those. I mean,
yeah, you
it's
can
basically
try.
developers.
Yeah, you can figure out that. Okay. So normally because it's not web programming, it's web programming, but it's not making web pages. So normally we don't really too care about these HTML and CSS. Basically, the most thing we will care about is the console. Okay. Okay. Remember, we write the console.log. It will print a message in the console if it's running correctly. Okay. Let's see. Local. Okay. It's localhost.
Yeah, while you're typing, I just want to address, the questions on errors, right? Can I trouble the other students to help? Because we don't have time to help you debug in this live coding session here. Yeah.
Okay. See, as long as we enter the localhost 3000, yeah, we connect to the server, you see, and also we see the hello XR message here, which means everything is working. So now the project is set up. Okay. So yeah.
Are we done?
Yeah, it's done. The setup is done. The next thing is how to write code for how to write code for BabylonJS.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
All right. Okay. Then you just don't need to touch the Webpack anymore. So just keep it running. Then you write code, and everything will refresh in the browser. Yeah.
So
yeah.
can we change the Hello XR to something else?
Yes, of course. Then if no, and maybe hello world or something. If I have hello world and a save, wait a minute, and a save.
Okay, I'm not sure if you all can see. The text is really small. Is there a way to quickly command plus something?
Yeah, command.
Or for this
console
screen that has a tiny text. I think the web developers, or rather developers all, like to fit as much debug information as possible.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, that's too much. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. See, I changed.
Yeah.
The word from XR to hello world without touch anything else. Just write code and save the file. Everything will be reflected in the browser.
Yeah.
Automatically.
So this is the hot reload thing we are talking about.
Yeah, I know that's a big setup, but as long as you set everything correctly, it works smoothly. So you don't really care about other things. Just keep writing your code. Yeah, keep writing your code. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Where's my mouse here? Right. Okay.
So can we see something on the quest now?
Do you want to show the quest?
No, and I'm just joking, but yeah.
Okay.
Please
Yeah,
go
because
ahead with your plan.
okay. Okay. So next thing I will quick show on just the comment of this line. Okay. We switch back to
Yeah,
okay.
switch back. Yeah.
Okay. Then I will show how to get the canvas. Okay. Remember we need the canvas. Okay. So we declare the variable. Normally I use const. If you don't need to change the value of the variable, you can declare with const, which means it's constant. So otherwise, if you want to change something, for example, that's the syntax
I
for.
think we can skip that explanation.
Okay, okay,
In terms of basic programming or advanced programming concept, I think they are fine.
okay, okay, okay. Just let you know the const canvas.
But if this was meant to be put up on YouTube, I think we probably need to explain all this.
Okay, okay. Then we have an object called a document, which will give you the access to the elements in the HTML document. So we will get document by ID. Remember, we have the ID here, so it's called the render canvas here.
Quick note, if you can just have a sentence on what document is and how get element by ID works for those of us who are new to web programming.
The document object basically is the object representation of the HTML file. So the web browser will read HTML and create a document and object, and the document project will hold the all the things we have in the HTML here, and it's also provided like a function or method like get element by ID, which means you give the ID name, it will look up the element use this ID. So if there's an element here called render canvas, it will get this element for you. And also you can do something to this element.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. So so for JavaScript, okay, this is kind of like JavaScript. Okay, this is JavaScript code because when I declare the variable, there's no class, right? There's no type there. So for TS, because it's TS file, the TS will automatically give a type for the canvas, which will based on the value of the the type of the return value, which means it will give the HTML elements, or you can specify like HTML because we want to use HTML canvas element instead of regular element, and it will give the error. Okay, so if you know C++, here means you need some need to typecasting, cast the type to the right thing. Okay,
Yeah.
because the element HTML element is the superclass of the HTML canvas. So I just show how it works. Okay, so basically, you can do this and use as. That's the other way, but I want to just equip that. Just save time. I think you do. Okay. Then we have the canvas element here. Okay, I just quickly show how canvas works, and then we get the context. Do I have the minute time? Okay, canvas API. They come with canvas API. It's dealing with 2D. I just quickly show something on the canvas, then just move to okay. Then that's the 2D context. We can draw something. Maybe just draw hello text, hello XR. Let me just quickly do this. Okay, we can just okay. And that's the Yeah, okay. If I save something here, yeah, so it will show what hello XR there. So that's the
Cool.
API from Canvas element itself. And also the Canvas element also you can use WebGL for the Canvas element. But I will not write the the shading GLSL here. It's too much trouble. But I just maybe I show a website here. Okay, there's a website called WebGL Fundamentals. It's a really good source for you if you want to learn WebGL. Yeah, so you can write GLSL in JavaScript and pass it to the canvas, and the canvas will talk to the GPU. So that's the sample code for just create the polygon, one polygon in the shading language, but it requires quite a lot of coding. So yeah, it's possible for you just create your app with just canvas and the WebGL without using any library, but it's quite tough.
Yes.
Yeah,
Indeed.
that's why we need a BabylonJS for you to handle this graphics stuff, and also like 3JS or
Yep.
A-frame. Yeah, so you don't need to take care about the low level thing.
Yep.
Okay, now we will start to use BabylonJS finally. Okay, and so first we need to import the library. So I will import there's okay. So import the BabylonJS module and get the engine type here. So we will use this to create a BabylonJS engine. Okay, to handle the graphics. Let's just comment this out. Okay, let's get the engine we need.
Okay, so you can just continue typing while I just mention that the import. The reason why we can autocomplete is because we have an extension
Okay.
for BabylonJS. Yeah. So you may want to get that as well to make life simpler. I mean, there's a lot of extensions for
Canvas, not
TS and JS, which
yes.
would help in making you code more efficiently.
Yeah, and because VS Code is so nice, for BabylonJS because TS and VS Code are from Microsoft.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
but from your IDE, if you can not see the not completion or other things, it might be it's optional. You can set up something here in the TS and configure here. But if it's working, that it's not really necessary, but it's not worked to get the full support for BabylonJS for Typescript. So another thing is you can add things here to get the full support for types. So you can put types here and add the name of the package, BabylonJS now. Okay, so to get the full support from TS. Okay. All right, let's get back to the index here. Okay, I create the engine. Okay, BabylonJS engine to get the rendering running. Next thing I need to create. Let me see. Yeah, the app itself. We can create. Okay, maybe we can later. So, okay, I want to show how to create your own module. Okay, in case you don't want to put everything in one file, right? Okay, so just get the new console here. Okay, say, okay, maybe we create for app.ts. So that will be our app. Okay, and index.ts is the entry point to initialize the app, initialize the engine. Okay. Okay, and so let's open this TS file. Okay, first, we can define a class, app class here. Okay, so by default, the module, everything you define in a module only accessible within the module. So if you want to, external and file to access the thing you declare inside the module, you need to export the class so code can see this class from outside. Okay, the default is not really exported. Okay, then we can do is declare we need engine to initialize the, okay, and that's the way we declare the fields and for the class, I think. And we also need the canvas. It should be HTML canvas element. And by default, it's public. So if we don't want to, you can just get the private keywords here. Then we need a constructor. Okay, then we pass engine and type and also canvas. HTML round type HTML canvas. Yeah, so I'm creating the constructor. Okay, so the parameter here, you pass the name of the parameter first, then give the type of the parameter. Okay, it's a bit different from C++. And then we assign the engine property to the argument canvas. Okay. Okay, that's the basic thing we can do. So, all right. Okay. Here, maybe I just then we can import the app. Should be from okay. Okay.
Very nice. You are always trying to format it in a consistent format.
Yeah, I tried this. Actually, there's
good programming practice. Yes. Yes, there's a auto formatting thing called Prettier, right?
Yeah, you didn't install that. So
Yeah, I didn't install that for this. Actually,
Yeah.
normally, again, useless trivia. I use Vim most of the time and don't use VS Code. But I think most people use VS Code, so that's why we are showing this.
Yeah. Okay, so by this thing, we create the app. Okay, using the BabylonJS engine. So yeah, I don't really have time. Let me skip a quite a lot thing.
I think it's okay. So yeah, in the for time, right? Very highly likely we will go quite a fair bit over, but certainly all of you can just leave. We will have this recorded, and you can come back and look at it wherever you left off. If Songjia is okay, we just continue until we finish the whole thing. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, yeah.
For me, it's okay.
All right. So please feel free to leave whenever you need to. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what we have done now, we create our own module, which is the app module, and create a class here. Then we import the app class to initialize the app instance based on the app class. So I think that one is pretty similar to C++, right? But just a bit syntax differences, but the idea is quite similar.
Yeah.
But that's the TS. But for JS, it's quite different. JS, there's no class, no type.
Yeah. Which is why I think a lot of you, if you're coming from RTS and IMGD, you may prefer TS much more than JS. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, to confirm that's working, so we just use app is running to see if it's really import the app and initialize the app.
Spelling error, but doesn't matter.
Okay.
But doesn't matter for our purpose.
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Oops. Yeah, and let's get back to the notes here. What's
Yeah, one of them. Home, is it?
I don't know. It's called
Oh, it's not.
XR.
Hello XR, yeah. I think we should drag it to the end.
Yeah. See, app is running. Okay.
Very cool.
Okay. So we just used our own module and create the app. Okay. The next thing is we need to use the app to render an image. Okay. Not image. Yeah, but basically, that's all images, to be honest. Okay. So next thing is we will define a method in the app class to create the scene and then give the scene to the engine, so let the engine to render the image we can put in the canvas. Okay. Normally in City we call it frames, right? Yeah, but it basically each frame is the image. Yeah. Okay, so let's do another method. We can call create theme. We don't need any arguments, and just get there. We need to create a thing object using the thing here from BabylonJS. Yeah, and use the engine here. Yeah. You see, VS Code is very nice. It's automatically import the scene class for us. Yeah, so we don't really need to do this manually. Okay. And next thing is to set up lighting and a camera. Yeah. So the BabylonJS also provide a help method for you. You can just create the default camera and the light with just one.
Wow, that's very nice.
Yeah. So, but you do.
What is that default? It doesn't matter. I think we can just see when it's rendered.
Yeah, you can see default. It just creates a camera for you and also creates lights for you.
Sure.
Yeah. So if you want to more advanced, settings for these two things, you can create your own camera and lights, do some configuration. But for demonstration, I just use the default help and a method.
Yep.
Okay, then in this thing, okay, then we should see something. Oh no, sorry. That's just create scene. Okay, then yeah,
Okay.
that's correct. Why is nothing? Because we just create the method, but we haven't used that.
I see.
Okay. Okay, so let's back to the index here. So that's the place we need to use the method to create the scene and pass that to the engine. Then engine will render the frame. Okay, the frames for us. Okay, then.
Sorry, Sonja, can you give me 1 minute? I place the browser on top of the scene as well. Yeah.
So you don't need to switch.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I think that should be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we can always switch back if we want to look at. Sorry, let me just click on something. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. Okay. Next thing is we need to create a scene. Okay. Let me check out the thing. Yeah, it will return the thing. Okay, I think so. Anyway, let's just quickly done this. So we declare variable and create a scene object using the apps create scene. Okay, then we have the thing. Okay, the next thing is we need to use the engine to create frames for us. So there's a method here. It's called engine.run render loop. Run the loop here. Okay, then we pass that. I just type first, then explain later here, I think. Oh no, we need to pass the thing here. And the call the thing render. Okay, I think something.
While Songjia, you continue completing that render loop, game loop thing.
Okay, I think something wrong with here.
I just wanted to say, yes, it's 5 p.m. So again, if you need to go, please do so. We will just continue. We will take a short break because Songjia has been been on that for a long time without going for any break. So we will take probably like 6-7 minutes and then we'll come back.
Yeah. As long as we get the first frame from BabylonJS, we can have a break.
Yep. Okay. We'll have the first frame first, then we'll have a break.
Yeah. Sorry, my mistake is a very rudimental mistake. Is I forgot to return the thing. Okay, I forgot to return the value from for the pumpkin call. So we should return this. Okay. Yeah.
So who calls this to show the scene?
Yeah, so the method here will create a scene and do some configuration file, configuration, and then return the scene object. Here it will call the method here. As long as we have the app, we create a scene. Use app dot create the scene, and that's the thing object we will use for to run the frames.
Okay.
Okay. Then the scene has a run the. Why is still telling me? I think that's the thing, right? The thing. Okay, maybe just. Okay, that's the right type. Any. Why is saying any? It's saying.
It's just a matter of its.
Let me see. Okay, yeah, sorry, a mistake. Sorry, it's shown no path here because the no parameter here. This argument here is the thing is accessed from the script itself, so it's here. It's wrong. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this first. Yeah. So you can see the what the color? Black, purple color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's the clean color, clear color for BabylonJS. So which means if nothing there, it will just show this color.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just explained the code here a little bit, and then we have a break.
Yep.
Yeah. So after we create a scene here, we call the engine.run loop, render loop. So I'm not sure students here they have done the graphics.
Yes, they have.
They understand the loop, the render loop, right?
Yes. I'm hesitating because I'm not sure whether IMGD students you all have gone through a module that does so. Yeah. maybe a quick description of what the render loop is.
Okay, yeah. So for game or any kind of 3D and graphic app, so it keeps rendering frame to display on screen. So you give the feel of like it's always showing things, right? For game, it's normally 60 FPS, so which means every second it will generate 60 frames. So there's a loop there. So it's always running. So each loop will generate a frame for game or for whatever app app and to show. And basically here you call the render loop here, then you pass a nominal function to that method call. So here in JS we call this arrow function. So it's basically other language may call it a lambda something, lambda expression
functions.
and lambda function. So it's basically an anomalous function. Then we pass this function, which will be called by the render loop when they want to create a frame. Okay, when they call this arrow function, just one line of code, which means it will call the method of the scene object to render the frame based on the setup of the scene. Okay, so basically we just pass the arrow function for the render loop to call when they need to generate a frame to show in the canvas. So this is what the code is doing now. Okay, yeah. So
Sure.
yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, let's go for a break. Okay, so maybe we can continue.
Right. Okay. Let's just get back.
Sorry, I scroll the thing. Okay, yes.
All right. Okay. Let's get back to VS Code here. Okay. All right. So before I enable the XR in BabylonJS, let's add something in the scene instead of just the color there. All right. Okay, just quickly do this. So, okay, after we have the camera and the light, next thing we want to is create maybe some primitive geometry there, so we can see in the scene. So first we can create a sphere, maybe. Okay, let's see. Sphere. And that's the method we can use. It's called a mesh builder. Create sphere. And we give the name, maybe just sphere. And also,
I think a lot of the objects that we are using through the API are pretty self-explanatory. Mesh builder, create sphere, all the methods of the objects as well. If you are needing to know more about what it does, obviously I think most of us just reading the documentation when it pops up, I think it's probably enough. But if you want to know more, I think ChatGPT, in all honesty, is a good tool to do this, and also to see more examples of how the API functions can be used. The only issue is it's dated knowledge, and BabylonJS and other WebXR frameworks, they change pretty fast. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Songjia, continue.
okay, yeah. So after we add 3 lines, so we have the sphere. You can see right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we create a sphere and specify the position to shoot the sphere. Okay, there's one thing we can have. I want to add XR. Sorry, the hello XR, the text inside the scene. Because maybe you need that, for your UI or something. Okay, so if we want to show text in BabylonJS, we need another module, I think, from BabylonJS, which means we will install another package. Okay, npm install. That's BabylonJS. Need to check out the name. I forgot the name.
Okay, Yongli, I see your message. Increase the IDE window width. It's getting cut off. I don't see it getting cut off. The rest, do you see it getting cut off?
Maybe the font size is too big. Let me just install the package. It's called a BabylonJS GUI. Okay. All right, I see. And I think that's the thing. It's cut off.
Oh, you mean cut? Yeah.
I think
Okay,
you
I
need
see.
to the settings there. It's called
the font size, correct.
wrap. Yeah, I think there's a wrap section here. Okay, and enable wrap.
It may already be.
No, default is off.
It's off.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Let's see whether that works.
And does it work?
Just type something very long.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, it's working. Okay.
Yeah, the size here is okay, but that was too big.
I think the site, the file browser can be smaller. Or we can just close it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we install the GUI thing. All right, then we can add text to it. Okay, to display the text, we need a plan. Okay, to put the text on the plan. Then we add that plan in the 3D world. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see this one. Closed. We can say hello.
So there is no like 3D text kind of a object for us to use.
What do you mean 3D text?
Some some engines actually
Okay.
3D text as a type of component you can add.
Yeah.
This doesn't have
I didn't find anything like that. I did, some frankly has this kind of thing. Again, we use patch builder to create the primitive. Okay, that will choose the text with
Are you for?
Yeah, okay, so basically the advanced dynamic texture. So here it's basically create a texture for the plane. Okay, so basically BabylonJS use texture to show text. Okay, so you see we have a plane, then we create a texture for the plane, and the texture will be a text. Okay.
I actually missed the how come. So what did you do to resolve the dependency issue?
Basically just this thing here. I will get the BabylonJS GUI here, or the types. I mean the TS configuration. So, the compile. I mean the editor will know where to look for the types we want to use from the packages.
Okay, so why isn't it like there in the first place?
I don't know. For my machine, it can find the types without this setting, but on your machine it didn't. So I add this package name, so it will lock the types from this package. While I type like advanced.
Yeah, I would expect that it is automatically included when we add a package, right?
Not really, because it's TS configuration. It's not part of NPM. NPM have no knowledge about this. Maybe there's some tools to handle this, but I don't know. Normally I just manually add the things in configuration.
So that's actually very good information in case we run into dependency issues, or rather linking issues.
Yeah. So okay. So this line of code is just create the texture for an hello plane. Maybe we name it to texture, maybe better naming hello texture. Okay. All right. Then we need to create the text. Maybe we check.
Okay, if I interject for a while, Hanif, you're asking what we changed. So pretty much just now what we were talking about is this. I'm not sure if it already addresses it. Your question, yeah. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Then we need to create a text object. So it's a text block to hold the information of the text, which is a string. Okay, in our case, and hello and dot text, and we get hello XR. Then we can set up the color. We just use the pupil color, and also
note also that I cannot reply in text to anybody here while Songjia is working on a computer because we are using the same computer. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll set up text. Then I just quickly finish this, and we can. Okay, then add control. So this will be pass the text here. And text, I think. Okay, let me see. And yeah, create texture for the plane. Then we have the text. Then we define all the things. Then the
everything looks understandable, but the add control, what does it do? Oh, it's just
the add control is past the hello text, so which is text block object. It will control the texture, which means basically just tell what to show, what to use to as the texture.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then we can just is it refreshed? Okay. Okay, need to save.
Okay, yeah, so once you save, they will hot reload.
Yeah, I need to save the file. So once I save the file, then we get the text there. So it just stores for text. Basically, it's a bit overkill for the text. Basically, the library actually is for building GUI. I just use the texture to display text, but it also can use image or other things to build the UI. I mean the GUI for your application.
Yeah, but I think most people would need this because most of us would have some GUI 2D elements on the screen. And just a quick note also on those who are asking questions on specific things to help you resolve your issue. I think you post in Slack general is much better, like the hot reload problem from JZ. Yeah. Okay, Yongli wants to see index.ts.
What?
Yep. What do you want to see there?
Yeah. I haven't changed anything. I just changed the add the sphere and a text inside the create scene. So the index here, index.ts, it's not changed.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Yeah. Normally after we set up for the engine here, I mean the entry points here, the most of what we'll do in the apps. That's just the entry point for you to set up engine, set up canvas, set up to initialize the
So
app.
any comments on the reason behind choosing the name index index we know app.ts. We see it pretty commonly in JS apps.
Yeah, because if index.js or index.html, it's normally the name for web programming. Index means that's the default file a browser will look for. Yeah. So if you not specify the HTML file, you just give the address, then why the web browser get the response, and it will automatically look for the index.html.
Yep.
Yeah, to show and the page. That's why. So, but we use BabylonJS to build the 3D graphic app. So I just named this app.ts because it's actually an app instead of a script for a web page. So it's, that's the why we choose this name.
Understand.
Okay, then all right. So we got everything up for the 3D scene. So next thing is I need to enable the XR session, which means we will see this scene in VR or AR mode.
Okay. That sounds much more exciting.
Okay. So far, to get the XR running, we need to create the AR session. Okay, using the help from BabylonJS. Okay, we can create a XR object. Then we will use scene.create. We can use default XR. Do we have? Yeah. Experience.
It's a long name.
Yeah, it's a really long name.
But long names are good as long as it helps us understand.
Yeah. Okay. Then we pass the options as argument. Okay. With that, it's telling the help method how to create the session. So for example, we can pass option for the UI, an option there, and also let know the session mode. Let's try VR first. Okay. Then we're telling BabylonJS to create the session for VR, so it will do the setup for us to use the scene in VR mode.
Is the configuration only for UI, right? Since it's UI options.
Yeah, it's UI option, and also by telling the UI option is also telling the BabylonJS and the scene should be showing VR or AR.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's the thing. It will not work. Yeah, but somehow you can see because I'll explain later, but we can see the thing here. So as long as you create the session here, you see we have immersive VR here. Now we can see the corner, right corner, lower corner here. We have image of goggle, and that's the one. Okay. To enter VR mode. Okay. And have you installed the?
Yes.
The
Webpack XR Emulator.
Yeah. So have you? Okay. All right. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, it's working.
Yeah. Okay. It's here, right?
Okay. Yeah. If you have the Webpack XR Emulator installed, you should be able to see the small button here. Then you can enter the VR mode. So there's a handset. You can simulate the movement of the handset, and also controller. I think that one, this one. Here. Okay, all working.
Yeah,
simulator.
Looks cool.
Okay.
So one question, the pointer ray, right? Is it by default already there? You know how the right controller actually moves this ray in the VR scene. Yeah, if you move the right, yes.
By default, I think it's created by the default.
I
whatever. It's a very long message.
Default XR experience async, right?
Async.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that's another thing we need to talk about is the async thing. So this is different for normal function in JS. So async means it's instead of return the value, give the return value after the function call, async will return a promise, which means it will do something for you after the function gets the return value. And that's why we have the method name end with async here. Async means when they execute this command line, I mean this line of code, it will not wait for the result is for the return value. Instead, it gets a promise and then continue to run the next line. Yeah, for web program, this is very common because if you send the request to the server, you may need to wait for a while to get the response from the server. Then you don't want to really post everything, from your app, okay? And you still need to continue, running your app. For game, the game should be continue running while something is downloading from the server. This is why we use async here. Okay.
And I think it aligns very well with what you are learning in mobile and app cloud computing as well. Even in mobile, when you're the Kotlin, you also have you often call this very frequently. While you are building mobile apps as well, whenever you need to do something in the background, whether it's a HTTP request or you are running something in the background service to process something long, I think you need this kind of programming pattern, which is slightly newer if you haven't touched mobile or web development before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So which means if you want to use the XR here, you cannot call anything on that object because it's a promise. So, but if you do want to set up something, okay, using the XR object here, I mean the experience object here, which means you need to tell JS or TS to wait for the value, return value. Okay, basically it turn the async to a normal function. Okay, you can put wait here. Okay, by doing so, now you can access on the XR object here, which means you can access like help function, like a basic a base experience. You can use code to control things like when to enter XR or when to exit XR, and also you can access feature manager. Yeah, so that's one thing. If you need to do some extra configuration for your session, so you need better tell on JS to get the return value, okay, instead of just go to the next line. All right, so one example can have here is this line of code only for debugging purpose. Okay, I don't expect you use this for your app. Is there's Windows object, okay, for JavaScript. So window object here, you can add property to the window object, and then you can access anything added to the window object in the console. Which means if we use okay, I write the normal TS here. So we have window object, and we want to add a property, XR property here, and put XR to the window object here. Then we can access XR there. But the problem is TS is telling you there's no existing, type, which has the XR property here. So one thing you can do is you cast the window as any type, which means the compiler will not check type for you. and add this to window. Okay, then you access the XR object. You can control directly inside the console from the web browser. Okay, you can experiment with something. Okay, then I think you see the okay. So the error here, whenever you have a wait here, which means you potentially calling some method or function that will taking quite a while to get the return value, which means whatever function or method contain this await keyword, it should be declared as an async, function, which give the option to, to other code, to use this function as asynchronized and a function, which will not block your app, your program from running. Okay.
Yeah. Soon in Kotlin, I believe you will learn about coroutines, which is a modern way of implementing these things. But yeah, just aligning all your different modules together. Yeah.
Okay.
Error.
Yeah. There should be have error because we changed that to think function or method, we can see. So then the way we use the asynchronized async function or method will be a bit different. We cannot directly call the thing.rand because if we see things here, because we change this to async method, instead of returning the value, the thing object, it will return a promise instead of the thing object. And there's no function or method on the promise calling named render. So we need to change another way to use this promise. Okay, remember the promise is it's promising you it will do something when it gets the result from the function call or method call. Okay, then we cannot directly use like this. Okay, instead, okay, we create this thing, right? Then instead, we need to pass the callback function, the arrow function, to the promise to let it know what to do when it gets the result. Okay, so we can say thing dot, okay, and then all right, and then we give the callback function, okay, for it to call when they need to fulfill the promise. Okay, we get thing the arrow function here. Okay, the thing here is the return value from the function call. If you remember, here it will return by this function when all the things is done. Okay, when it needs to return something, it will return thing. So basically, for promise, it will use the return value as the argument to call the arrow function here. Okay, so why we put thing here? It is the argument for the arrow function.
So to clarify, the scene outside is a promise. The scene inside is the real scene, right?
Yeah, maybe need to name to, maybe rename this to scene promise or something.
Yeah, but JavaScript people like to abuse the same name for.
Maybe just scene promise.
Yeah, that would be
way better.
more C++.
Then okay, the scene is the actual scene object will returned by the function call. Then we can call the engine run loop. Basically, we add the render function to the render loop. Okay. Okay. Then this is another error message, so it's a bit complicated. Okay, and we give the thing render. Okay, I think that will work. Yeah, it's working. So
Okay.
yeah, you see, so it's an arrow function inside another arrow function. So
Yes.
yes.
Pretty complex. Yeah. But can we have like one short summary why suddenly when we introduce XR experience, we need to convert everything to become asynchronous?
Yeah, because sometimes you need to in your code, you need to do some configuration use this XR object. So that's the default one, but something you need to, like you need to enable some feature, use the code. And also one point here is also another thing I want to show is for debugging purpose, you can also pass the XR to the window object, which means if we go back to the let's show the console here. Okay.
And reduce one level of font size.
All right. Then we type XR. You see, we have an XR object here. So we can directly use XR object to configure the session we want. For example, if we want to enter XR, we type the command here, and the code here, to enter. Yeah, and also it can enable some features for you. And I've got, let me check the documentation. So that's called the base and the feature manager here. Yeah, so the feature manager, that's the thing you can enable or disable quite a few features for VR and AR. So to just configure the session for your device, because some feature not support on some device, some feature is supported. So because different platform have different supported feature. So yeah, so and to set up these things, you have to wait for the method to return the actual XR experience object to you, because you cannot do on the promise. Or you can just send the callback function to the promise to do the configuration. So either way, so either you turn this create thing into async, or you just give a promise, the callback function for configuration. I just followed the convention from BabylonJS, because from the BabylonJS documentation, they do things like this way. But technically, either way, it can do either way.
So can I clarify whether, if I didn't want to do this debugging, and I don't need to assign, an XR variable to the window, do I then not need to do all this async code?
You can, but I don't know. But I just follow this. More
Sure.
follow about the
Okay.
XR here. That at the convention they tend to use the, I think it's just XR, maybe XR. Yeah. Yeah, the way I showing now is from documentation. That's the way they use. Like I said, you can also use the way you just directly send the callback function to the XR promise. It also will do the work for you. But yeah. And this thing is what I use when I use debugging. So instead of changing code, I just use this one to quickly enable or set up things in the web browser console and see the result instead of touch the code. So that's the one option for you to use for debugging. So that's only debugging purpose. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions?
Nope. Just want to say that's good information for those of you new to web programming as well. The console screen, right? On the the console panel on any browser, not just Chrome, the Safari. Any browser has this that allows you to write this kind of live code, sort of like a Python idle IDE kind of environment that you can just easily test things. It helps in debugging a lot.
Yeah, it works like a REPL, if I say. Yeah. Okay. And that's the thing I think to do. Anything else we want to show? Yeah, emulator. We have show, right? Emulator here for VR. And also maybe we can also. Okay, let's show the AR. Using the emulator. Okay, so then we change the VR session to AR session. Okay, and we save this. Okay, so then you can choose AR device. Here, there's only one AR device.
Yeah, there's only one. Yes.
Yeah, Galaxy. Yeah, and then we need to reload here. Okay, then you see the goggle here. Okay, then it will become AR simulator. Then you can, I think, move the
big phone. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's the virtual tablet. Okay, using the virtual camera, viewing something. Okay,
it's like Inception, virtual in virtual.
Yeah, virtual in virtual. Okay, the virtual AR in a virtual reality. So, okay. Then we see this on a virtual screen. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can we do that one more level deep?
Okay. Yeah. So that's the thing you can use with the emulator when you want to test something, develop something on before you're using the actual device. It's very convenient. Okay. All right. Then I think it's time to use the real device.
Yes,
okay.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. Okay. Then we start from VR, then AR. Follow the. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's go to the. Okay. So we will use the MetaQuest for this demo for VR. So shall we show Okay, so to use the Quest for development, you need to create your Meta account with organization. Then you can make your account as a develop account. Organization just put the name. Yeah, that's it. Then you can see an option in your Meta app, the mobile app. Yeah, so yeah, maybe just Meta develop.
Yeah, so just wanted to say that this was introduced fairly recently, this developer program that also stumped me up for a bit when I did not do development on the device for some time. That, how come I cannot find the option to enable USB debugging? You know how in your Android module as well, when you plug in a real device, you need to enable USB debugging.
Yeah, just
enable USB debugging. Yeah. Just showing an image of what I mean over here. This thing, yeah, on Android phones or on the MetaQuest. MetaQuest is basically an Android phone in a package with the optics there, right? So I couldn't find this because Meta introduced the fact that you need to sign up as a developer. So just take note of that before you can actually enable it. So it's all, the MetaQuest is linked to your account. So once your Meta account has the developer mode enabled, you will be able to see this debugging option, which will allow you to debug when you're developing. Yeah.
Yes. And MetaQuest has a page for setup device. Maybe you can search MetaQuest device setup. Let's give it a more.
Yes.
Yeah, it's telling how to create developer account, and it's going to create anything, verify account, and enable how to enable develop mode.
Okay.
Then you can use your device for development. Okay, for development. Sorry, I forgot the microphone. All right, then we need to we already set up for this handset, and where's the USB-C? Okay, here.
USB-C, yes. So you need to connect your Quest if you're using a Quest. Yeah. Using whatever cable. USB-C is the interface.
Okay. Then let's just enable that. Let's see. Okay, it's well. Okay, let me allow the debugging. Yeah, okay. Then we will use ADB. So it's Android
Debugging bridge.
debugging bridge, yeah, which will control the handset over the USB cable. Yeah, you can search ADB to install the ADB.
Yeah, and I think all of you would have installed that if you have already gone through first 2 labs at your mobile app module.
Yeah, so it's Android debug project. Okay, so you can use ADB devices. Okay, to see. Yeah, it's connected. All right. Then another use for web page we can show is Quest debug browser content. Just show Quest. Oh, it's how to turn off the.
I'll change it. Yes. Okay, it's done.
Okay, so to use Quest debug web browser content.
So Hanif, your question later Songjia will show as well for the phone, because for Google Cardboard you will be mainly developing on the phone.
Yeah. For the phone, actually, it's exactly the same. Basically, the Quest is also an Android device.
Yep.
So, which means for this page, okay, it also works for Android phone.
Yep.
So first, we have used ADB device, which you have seen, okay, to show what device connect to the laptop here. Okay, and next thing, and we need one more command. Okay, we'll see. I show this here. It's called ADB reverse. Okay, it's a reverse port forwarding. Okay, we need to type reverse.
Yeah, this is slightly different from if you are just doing mobile native app development.
Okay.
So this one, because we are trying to access the browser on the Quest, so through your desktop. So that's why we need to do this.
Yeah. So basically, it's a reverse the port forwarding, which means if we access localhost on the device will forward that request back to the laptop, which is running the server. Otherwise, if you use localhost on the device, it will looking for a server on the device which is not existing.
Yeah, sorry, I say the wrong things just now. We are trying to let the Quest access a web page on your desktop. Yeah, that's why we are doing the reverse.
Do we need to show? Okay, maybe that's easier for them to see. So another tool you can use with Android devices is called Screen Copy. It's a very nice tool which will cast.
The mic is too far.
Okay, it will mirror what you will see on the device back to the laptop. So yeah, maybe just looking. It's GitHub Screen Copy. Yeah, GitHub. Yeah, it's open source tool, so you can go to the repository, just follow the installation here, okay, for your platform. Okay, then, okay, let me just turn back to the console.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as you install that, it's very simple, just type screen copy. Well, have you add this?
Okay,
window. Yeah,
give me 1 minute to add that screen there.
Yeah. Yeah, it will just create a window and show what is going on, on Quest.
Yep, yes.
Okay, so what you can see now is exactly what's going on on the Quest. Okay, I just need to select the
Okay, let
browser.
me just copy this.
And going to access the localhost 3000. Okay, local.
Okay, so what Songjia is trying to do is to type localhost in the Quest. Okay, because now that we have the reverse port forwarding set up, it can actually access a local host on your desktop connected by the cable that you see over here.
Okay, you need to put HTTP first. HTTP. Okay. Wrong port. Where's the port?
Okay, while Songjia is typing, technically your question on how to deploy on XR Author. Okay, so I think that the way you're phrasing this sounds a bit not that correct. Anyway, Songjia, you're done already. Right?
What?
It's okay. I addressed this question.
Okay.
Yeah. So, as I was mentioning, the way you say it is a bit strange because we are trying to deploy XR Author onto a certain platform, right? And not deploy something onto XR Author. Okay, so yeah, your follow-up question, I think maybe you have some details on exactly what parts you don't understand. You can send on Slack. Yeah, thank you. Yes, Songjia, you wanna?
Yeah, nothing. Just no. I have entered the VR mode on Quest. So this is how it looks like if we're using the VR device. Okay.
Yep.
Then as well, this is connected, and also there's from Chrome we have also a tool for remote debugging. Basically, it will open the console. Okay, connect to the web browser on the Quest. Yeah, I just need to. Okay, here you can access it to Chrome. Then / inspect, I think. Okay. Okay, let's see. We have a remove target Quest 2, right? And we have hello XR page here. Then we can click inspect. Okay, it's wrong here. Oh.
Inspect. Let me just check.
The name should be
window.
that. It's just created a new window, so check need to add it to the OBS to to show the window. Yeah, it's quite a few windows.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see, we have a console here. So basically, we can use remember XR then we can exit the XR if we want. Okay. Yeah, and you okay. You can also see what is shown in the browser. Okay.
Can you explain what you just did there, as in exit XR? What does it mean?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Okay. I see. So I was in the XR mode here. Okay. You see? Yeah. So what I've done in the console is I use the console to send command to the Quest browser to exit the VR mode. Now it's in the VR mode. What I've done here is use the XR, experience object to send the command to let the request know we want to exit the XR session, so it will back to the normal, browser mode. Yeah. See.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to prove that the console is really connected to the quest here.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you can try something or see the debug message or error message in the console. Okay, because there's no way to show the console on the quest, so you need a remote debugging tool to show the message or use the console. Okay.
Yeah. Extremely useful.
Yeah, that's the one thing you can use. Maybe we don't have enough time, and another thing is the ADB also support wireless debugging, so you can connect the Android devices via Wi-Fi instead of cable. So basically, you can move around with the handset without the cable connect to your handset. Maybe we can quickly show this. Where's the mouse?
I see it.
Oh, I cannot. Oh, okay, it's found here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what you need to. Yeah, I think first you connected to your. Yes. So.
Okay. So I'm just wondering whether we should skip this.
If you not interested.
What is the other thing you want to show?
To the AR mode using the Android phone.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just skip this.
Yeah.
Because you can follow the instruction here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the same thing, but without the cable. You can just connect your device to your laptop using the Wi-Fi for debugging. Yeah,
Yep,
so it's
yep.
not
So-
much difference.
Correct.
Yeah.
So basically, just need to follow the instructions here.
Yeah,
And you can enable
Yeah.
wireless. Yeah.
yeah. Just let us know if there's any
Yeah.
issue, then we can help you. But
That's
I
right.
think just save some time.
Sure.
Okay. All right, so we have the VR working well. That's good. Then we disconnect the device, then use the Android phone to show the AR. Okay. Again, for Android phone, and you also need to enable debug mode. I think you can just Google that. It's quite a lot. Resources for do this. So we need to allow USB debugging, yes. And again, I have connected my phone with the cable. Okay, then back to the console. All right, then we use ADB device to check. Okay, device to see. Okay, the phone is connected. And also, similar, you can use screen copy because the Android device to show what error it's on the phone.
See, it still works. Screen
Nexus.
copy, Nexus.
Nexus.
Let me transform it to screen. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah. So what you see is exactly the same on the phone. So you can even control the phone using mouse and keyboard.
Yep.
Okay. Let me just. Okay. Now I just access phone use my mouse and keyboard. No thanks.
It's extremely useful for your other module as well, without having to open up emulator from the Android Studio.
Yeah.
You can actually do this.
Okay. Okay. We need to access the. Okay. I forgot to use the ADB. So before this, we need to reverse Remember, reverse the port forwarding thing here. After this, we can access the localhost from the mobile. Okay, then I can just simply use keyboard to type db/localhost 3000.
Let me switch the screen because I didn't map this.
Yeah. So it's nothing wrong. Okay, we need to switch it to the AR mode. What's the okay? Let's change back to wait.
Okay, let me go. It's on. Okay. This that's the just this so I and so yep, so this is the code where Songjia changed to AR before that error happened. Okay, so VR was working fine. It's just AR somehow yeah.
Yes, yeah, sorry, and the VR is working fine on the device, I mean on the Quest. So, but that time when we connect the Android phone and change back to AR mode, then we got a message here saying WebXR is not available, which is really weird. Because we tested several times to run AR on this phone, as a mobile phone.
It's fine. I think we can do some debugging on this to see what's the issue, and then we can update on whether it's actually working on what is this Nexus
Nexus
6P. Okay, yeah. But you can certainly try it out yourself with the the information you have here to see whether AR works on your device.
Okay. Let me see.
Okay, shall we continue? I think probably
Oh, okay.
need to
Yeah.
wrap up soon. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, so okay, so that's all the thing I think for Android at least. Yeah. So how do you use BabylonJS to build XR app, and how do you debug a new app with the tool, and also for simulator and emulator, and also on a real device. Unfortunately, our Android phone is not working today, and it's not happy today, so cannot show the AR thing. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, for Android, yeah, it is. And for iOS, unfortunately, we tried iOS, and I think for some reason, the recent updates from iOS is it kind of break something. So the Safari on iOS is not working for WebXR now. It used to work with VR, and AR never worked. But now even VR, it's not working, at least for BabylonJS. But for other framework, maybe 3JS or A-Frame, maybe it will work. We haven't checked that. We just tried that with BabylonJS and found it's not working today. But I will show and how do you do the remote debugging on iOS. And yeah, so we can do is Safari. We need a Safari.
Okay, so now we are looking at debugging on iOS Safari.
Yeah, I just show how to use remote debugging. So for iOS device to access the local host on Mac or the laptop or machine you're using to run the server, it's a bit different because for iOS there's no something like ADB reverse port forwarding, so you cannot access the local host from your mobile device. So which means you have to connect your machine and also the iOS device to the same network, which means you need to connect both of them to the same router, so they will see each other in a local network. Then you access the local host using the IP address of you get from the router. Normally it's like 1.72 something like that. If we want to show this, we want to show this. So
I think it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, you need to we need to connect your mic to your hotspot. Yeah, we use a hotspot because SIT Wi-Fi it's not working for our purpose, because the SIT Wi-Fi looks like it's the same access point, but it may even you're connecting to the same access point, Wi-Fi access point, but your device may actually connect to different networks. So which means it's not always possible. It's not always possible for the device and your laptop to see each other in the same network. So that's why we need to connect our laptop here to a hotspot, and also connect the iPad here to the same hotspot. Then we can make sure both of them are on the same network. Then we need to check out the IP address of the laptop.
I just shared your entire screen so you can actually show. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically,
that if I may just add, what I just did was on the iPad, I connected to my phone's hotspot. On the desktop, I connected to my phone's desktop as well. And what you're seeing is Songjia checking out the IP address.
Yeah. So now we have the IP address. Okay. For the laptop, it's 172. And we can 1.2.20.
Yeah, Songjia is trying to type that IP address that you just saw on the Mac here into the iPad Safari.
Yeah, then we have the 3000 port here. Okay. Yeah, so you see the error message here. And one more thing here, it's saying, okay, error, WebXR can only be served over HTTPS, which means our local server is HTTP. Why it's not a problem for Android device? Because we use reverse port forwarding. So because all the browser assume localhost are secure, so they will not require HTTPS. So even it's the protocol, it's actually HTTP, but WebXR will not complain about that. But if you are not access localhost for the WebXR, then the browser will require its HTTP protocol to use the WebXR, because WebXR can access your camera, your sensors on your mobile device. So it's require a secure layer, over the HTTP protocol, which means we have to use HTTPS. Yeah. So unfortunately, we'll go back to the things here. Let's change this back to VR in case Apple is working for VR today. Then we go to the Webpack. Okay, remember we use Webpack dev server here. Here, that's the settings here. We can use server option here, then put HTTPS here. Okay, then it will tell the Webpack to use the HTTPS protocol for the dev server. Then we need to stop the server first and run the server again. Then this time you will see and you can access this. It will generate the certificate for SSL layer, and also you can access using the HTTP. Okay, let's give you a warning. That's fine. It's give you a warning because the certificate is generated by Webpack. So the web browser don't know the certificate, the issuer of the certificate. So it's not sure about if this is safe. So it's give you the warning, but this is something you are using for development. So it's fine. So I will not suggest if you access some website, okay, the public website. But for development, it's fine. We know that's what we are building. So just we visit the website anyway. Ignore the error message here. So now we can access the Web XR. Just unfortunately, Safari do not really support Web XR now, so we cannot enter the XR mode, but it do show the app. Yeah, but later on maybe we can check out if 3JS or a framework for.
That's the unfortunate reality of developing for browsers. That every browser update may break something, but it's similar for if your mobile OS updates, it may also break your code, but browsers is just much more often.
More frequent.
And you have so many different browsers. So that's the case. But at least we know desktop normally works, right? The desktop normally doesn't break.
It's good. Browsers on desktops are more stable, I feel.
Okay.
But anyway.
But we will continue to test what works on iPad, whether the Mozilla one works or other things. Then we will update you guys with the more information as we test new things. But I think the main point of this. Is there anything else? I think that's all.
That's all. It's quite a long session.
It's extremely long session. So please review this if you need to. But I was saying the main point of this is to show all the different things that Songjia has figured out in terms of developing for web from his experience. And not just developing for web, but developing for web XR, for web AR VR kind of experiences. So I think all this knowledge is not easy to find on the web, and so I feel that this is valuable, and that's why I wanted to extend beyond, and just have everything inside this one live stream. So that you can access the content, and obviously we cannot cover every single possibility, but I think this is a good range of things, including the phone, different OS, the Quest, and so on. All right.
So basically all the tools we have shown today, it's also very useful for other web programming. Like the the screen copy and also the room debugging things. So yeah, it's also can be used for other web programming. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Song Jia.
No worries.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of effort. Yeah. To put together this content. So thanks for everyone who stayed back to watch this live. All 23 of you. All right. I will see.